Hi, good evening. I'm just back with another video on exploring the 5G mobile communications in a very simple way. So in this session, I would just like to give a basic introduction on 5G mobile communications and what are actually the basic definition which has been defined by the industry standards, and what are the limitations involved in the case of LTE and LTE advanced, and how those will be overcome in the case of 5G. So in this slide, we can see whatever the new mobile network generation, usually it refers to a completely new architecture, as we already know. So traditionally, the new mobile architecture will be going to be defined by whatever the radio technology or the radio access which it's going to be used. So in order to make you to understand in a more precise manner, if you see the slide, in the case of GSM, Global System for Mobile Communications, in the case of 2G, the radio access is TDMA, which has been moved from analog to time division multiple access. And in the case of 3G, we have code division multiple access, or the wireless TDMA. And finally, in the case of LTE, it is WFDMA technology. So whenever a new mobile network generation, so it usually refers to a completely new architecture, and we are going to be defined by using a radio access. So here the industry has now started the next fundamental step for this existing orthogonal frequency division access, that is LTE, is nothing but a 5G. So this is where the industries have started defining the basic fundamental step of WFDMA is nothing but a 5G. So it has been now very clear that 5G requires a new RAT, it is nothing but a new radio access technology, and also a new standard to address the current, what actually the user demands, and where the previous technologies are unable to answer that. So the reason why we are moving towards 5G, these are some of the reasons where it requires SDN, software defined network, extremely dense network, which having the billions of devices where machine to machine communication going to happen. So these are all the requirements that cannot be achieved with the current existing LTE and LTE advanced. And coming to the main basic 5G mobile broadband objectives, the one is capacity, the other is coverage, and the last one is convenience. So these three are nothing but where the user going to experience. In the case of 5th generation of mobile communications, on the top, the operator, from the operator point of view, they are expecting a very flexible and cost efficient network. This is with respect to the operator point of view, and with respect to the user, they are going to experience the capacity, coverage, and the convenience. Here the capacity is nothing but, I can say, which is nothing but a perception of infinite internet. That is, the 5G network will give the user the perception that the capacity of the network is infinite and always have the enough capacity which is available for whatever the data transfer is required. It's nothing but a promising enough finite capacity and also very flexible enough to reach the real-time needs. And coming to coverage, here the name itself indicates the user experiences the network coverage anytime and any place, whenever is required or the needed. And apart from this, here we'll have the dynamic selection of different radio resources. That is very important thing in the case of 5G coverage. It's nothing but a dynamic selection of the different radio resources will be used to provide the coverage based on the service demand. And the last one is nothing but the convenience. Here this particular parameter is being distinguished into two types. One is with respect to the human and the other is with respect to machine communication. This is the basic introduction I would like to share today with respect to 5G. And in my coming sessions, we'll just look into the past cellular generation of mobile communications, the 1G to the 4G, and what actually the current 5G project summary, and followed by the new spectrum allocation in the case of 5G. Thank you.